Alright, it is Shannon Vlogs number 20 with a book to film challenge update. Hey everyone, it is Shannon, and it's been a while since I have done a book to film challenge, anything, because back in March I ended up not finishing Far from the Maddening Crowd, and that sort of threw me for a bit of a loop. And then, as I've shared recently, I didn't. I took a bit of a break from vlogging. You can see my general update if you want more information on that, because if I start going into that, I'll start crying again, and I don't want to do that. So anyway, let's just get to the Book to Film Challenge update. So in April, I read The Martian by Weir. I loved it. I really, really, really enjoyed this book. I will say that it took me a little bit to get through, and it might have even taken me past that sort of that rule of 50 pages, but I was glad that I did. Maybe not, actually, now that I look a bit, maybe close to. It took me a little bit longer than that, actually. And now that I see, okay, it's gonna focus. Some of the things I loved about it, it's science fiction, but is it? Actually, that's a good question. I had with my one of my buddies that had read it, and he was like, I actually don't know if it is science fiction because it's all plausible, and I think science fiction actually has to take us beyond that, because this is, if you're unfamiliar with the book, it is set in the near future where on a mission on Mars there is a crew member that accidentally gets left behind. So he is the Martian. So, and it's about his journey, and fascinating premise. Is near future, so not like crazy distant future, so it is very realistic and relatable in terms of today. It's so funny because usually I've been shying away from things that are sort of like hot buzz books of this year and blah blah blah, and this won the Goodreads science fiction award, favorite for last year, but I was like, no, I want to read it. So I don't know, it was the exception to the rule, I guess, and I'm glad that I did, and also one of the things that was nice about it was quite an easy read, although it does get pretty sciencey on certain stuff. I never felt it was totally inaccessible. I just sort of, I'm sure people understand the minutia of what he's talking about. It's correct and they'll be happy, but for me, I'm more about, okay, so he's fixing the blank, he's fixing the this, it has relevance because of that. I don't need to know the mechanics of it, and it literally is mechanics of it, but that's okay. I believe him. I believe the author. So, and one of the other things I loved about it is that I always wanted to know what happened next. So, and a lot of it is in sort of journal or log entry format, which is something that I also enjoy as well. So it was all really just really awesome. And for me, in terms of a book to film experience, I'm really looking forward to this one. The film is coming out, I think, in November, late this year. But for me, the timing in which I read it was perfect. It was before information, like images or trailer has come out, which now since has come out. I think it looks good. I like the images for sure. I think the trailer shows too much. I always think that about almost all trailers, and specifically book to film trailers, but it makes me happy that I read it before I saw anything. I'm still very much looking forward to the movie. I think it's going to be a great film. But I'm just really surprised at how much they're showing. I can't go, once you've read something, you can't go back to not knowing, either what happens or the sentiment of something or what's important or what's relevant or the focus of blah, 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 like that kind of stuff. So for me, I guess what I'm saying, if I designed a trailer for it, it would be different. And that's fine. I'm not who's designing the trailer for it. But I do think it would really pull in the audience that would really enjoy it. So that's an important thing as well. So yay for that. Next up in May, my book to film choice was Brooklyn by Colm, Tóibín. I actually haven't finished reading this. I'm about 50 pages, 38 pages of 360-ish, and I started reading it. I'm actually quite enjoying it, but while I was reading it, I've noticed it was quite similar to another book that I was in the middle of called Beyond the Sea. Now, this is set in Ireland in the 50s about a young woman who is going to go live in Brooklyn. So it's sort of like a coming of age travel on your own kind of thing. And Between Two Seas has a similar theme, although it's a younger girl, but again, young woman who travels on her own from England to Denmark. So I decided actually to finish Between Two Seas first, and I loved it. Oh my goodness gracious, I loved this book. It was so good. So, so, so good. It just really spoke to me very directly and quite enjoyed it. It is a YA title. It is quite easy to read, and I'm really glad. So I switched from Brooklyn in the middle. Once I started to pick that up, I switched from Brooklyn to Between Two Seas, and I haven't picked Brooklyn up again. I need to just read a couple other books just to get me thematically distanced away. Just because they were so similar, I don't want to start, I don't want to read, I don't want to have, I want to really enjoy this, and I think to do that I need to create a little distance. And that's fine. As far as, like, that's fine. I feel, I am, you know me, I do like to do things as I set out to do them, but I'm trying to get better at, finding other ways and not just following the rules I set out strictly for the reason of following the rules. There's the world didn't end because I didn't finish this in May. Like, it did not happen. Or that I didn't finish Far from the Madding Crowd. Still going on. Would I have been happier if I had? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's good that I can sort of shift a little bit and be a little easier on myself for not being able to finish, a certain book in a certain month. Over in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a deal, although it is very much in my nature to stick to what I set out to. Now that it's June, I'm on to a new book. I'm reading Jungle Book. I only just started it. I think I don't know if it has chapters. I'm still in the first very, very beginnings of it. This is one that actually the date of the film got pushed after I decided I was going to read it, so this isn't coming out until next year sometime. And I am oddly familiar with this one because I don't remember the Disney animated version, but we did have the record. So I know the songs, so the character names are familiar, and it has a sort of fun, sort of just, like, when I'm reading it, there's just this sort of fun kid energy that I feel. It's a classic, it's kids, and I enjoy that for the perspective of the fact that it's very clear and there is clever language and all the animals have great names, and I love that it's about animals. I'm just really, really just really enjoying that. And I don't actually have a physical copy. I'm reading it on my Kobo because it is public domain. And so anyway, I do hope to finish it by the end of June. It's weird. Sometimes I find, even though with these ones that they're really clear, just like Black Beauty, and it's not that long, for some reason it does take a while to get through. I don't know if I'd feel differently about that if I had a physical copy. Maybe I would. I'm not sure. I'm still in the land of trying to figure out how I feel about having physical books versus ebooks, especially since I do have a dust allergy, so I don't know, so I can't, keeping books forever just isn't, and being able to reread them isn't really something, that will make a lot of sense, but I also don't want to not have physical copies because I like them, and you can share them. There's no coding that makes it unshareable. You can just go here, or you can give it away, you can gift it, you can donate it. There's something really nice about that. So anyway, Jungle Book, enjoying it. I gotta get back to it though. I'm not even finished the first chapter, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So looking forward to it. Lots of great characters, and I really feel like I can really see it. I can really understand why this has been adapted. Like, literally, it's very visual and descriptive and wonderful so far. So there you go. There's my book to film update for April, May, and June. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't even remember what I'm reading in July. Focus on the now. All right, thanks for watching.